Hey guys, welcome back to AIR. Tonight, as you guys can see, she's kind of being active, but we have Momo with us. That's short for Monique, so don't get concerned. But we have our baby with us, and we're happy. So, and she's a happy baby. She's comfortable. But I'm gonna let her get down because she doesn't like really being held while you're sitting down.
Except for when she wants.
Now, if you're laying down or something like that, she loves to be cuddled, but whenever you're sitting in a chair, not so much. Actually, I want to grab someone else for the beginning of this video real quick. But before I do that, this is actually the start of our leopard gecko series. So, all of these next 4 videos will be all about the leopard gecko. But there's someone else that needs a little bit of recognition here at the rescue. I love him. He is my nutcase of the family. Goes crazy at night. But give me just a second to grab his goofy butt. Move her, bro. Come here, you little turd. Move, Mama. As you guys know, Smokey from our very first video, his birthday is June the 13th. So today our baby has made 6 months old. He's very, very spoiled. So we got a 6-month-old, which is kind of crazy because, yeah, he's the youngest one in the group. So, but I'm happy. My cat is, other than Zeus, my cat is probably my other cuddle bug in the family. Those are the two that love being around Dad all the time. Now back to our video series. Like I said, this one's going to be about our leopard geckos. In this video, we're going to talk about why they're called leopard geckos and their fun facts. There's actually some pretty interesting stuff in here that's going to be mentioned in this video. In all honesty, I didn't think their actual natural habitat was where it was. I thought they were maybe like more or less like Central America, South America, things like that, or even like in like different deserts. They would come from being American species. But actually, their location is a lot different from what I was thinking. So that's one of the unique things we found here. But let's get started. Leopard geckos, they get their name from their spotted coloration. If you look at a leopard, like the big cat leopard, and you notice their spotting and everything, that's the same thing you're going to see in the leopard gecko. That's how they got their name. Is those spots and everything makes them unique. But the leopard geckos look like an actual leopard with their spotting, which is really, really cool. Now, one of the things that always made me fall in love with the leopard gecko is not just their spotting and coloration, but if you look at their face and they're just kind of chilled out and hanging out, it actually looks like they have a big old smile on their face, which I think is just adorable for these guys. Now, most geckos that you find or are in the pet trade, on their toes, just like frogs too, on their toes they'll have like little suction on their toes, on their toe pads. Now with leopard geckos, they do not. So they can't climb up smooth surfaces. So if you have a terrarium that has glass on it, or even just a plastic cover or anything that you have the gecko in, it's not going to be able to climb up the sides of it. Now, if you have like tree branches and vines and stuff like that, then they can climb on that. But if it's just regular glass on the side of their enclosures, they're not going to be able to climb up the sides like your other geckos and stuff will. Now, one of the unique things about these guys is they actually have scent glands. Now, one of the ways that they fight basically being detected out in the wild is they'll actually shed their skin to go ahead and rid themselves of those scents. So that they cannot be detected by their predators. So say if you have a leopard gecko and there's a bird and it smells it, that leopard gecko will find an area, it will go ahead and shed its outer skin, and that removes that scent so the bird loses its track. Which is actually pretty
Rex
unique.
Michael.
This one is kind of confusing because honestly there's no true known facts about what lizard species was actually first domesticated, but they're actually leaning towards the leopard gecko due to the fact that they're so widely populated and so popular among the pet trade that we actually think that the first domesticated lizard actually is the leopard gecko. But like I said, in scientists and all that, with them doing their studies, they haven't been able to mark it down on who was actually the first domesticated lizard to be found. Now, leopard geckos, they're actually nocturnal animals, just like your snakes are. These guys are nocturnal. So, what that means, guys, is that they're going to be sleeping during the day. So, if you're at home during the day and you notice your leopard gecko's not moving around, not really doing anything, even after you've put food in there during the day, that's because it's sleeping. Don't be alarmed. It's not dead or anything. It's not sick. It's because they sleep during the day. Usually, which I've actually only been able to handle about 5 or 6 leopard geckos from the time I was a child till now. And I've never actually owned one for myself, but whenever I've helped feed them before, I always think about it as, okay, they're up at night and not during the day, so I'm not going to feed during the day. I actually want to feed these guys at night. Like, before I go to bed, I'll put their food down, and whenever I do that, that gives them a chance that they're up at night, they can chase their crickets, they can eat their mealworms, they can eat whatever you're putting in there as far as their bugs go, and that gives them the chance to actually be active while they're eating. So just remember, I always recommend feeding them at night since they are nocturnal. Now, with that being said about these guys being nocturnal animals, these guys, from the time that the sun is rising to the time that the sun sets, which is about a 12-hour period, these guys are asleep. So from dawn to dusk, your leopard gecko will be asleep. It's just natural for them. That's actually their time. Actually, in the wild, they'll find shade so that they're not getting overheated by the sun in the desert to actually sleep. Now, at night, they come out whenever the temperatures are a little bit cooler, but it's still warm because they are a desert animal. I really wish Mother Half would have put this as far as like inches or whatever, but she didn't. You can convert it.
I couldn't find it in inches.
You can convert it through Google. You can ask Google, hey, what's the conversion for this? But leopard geckos can grow to be around 15 to 25 centimeters. I don't know the conversion rate on that right now. Actually, where's my other half's phone?
Pocket.
Give me your phone. I'll actually convert that for you guys real quick to tell you what the inches are. Because I don't want people to be seeing this video or the kids and be like, wait, what's centimeters? How many is that? Or how many inches is that? How big will they get? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and look it up now and actually give you guys the measurements in inches.
Monique and Rex.
So,
come here.
Let's see, 15 centimeters to inches. So 15 centimeters equals 5.9 inches long. And then at 25 centimeters, which is supposed to be the max that they can get, is 9.8 inches. So your leopard gecko is going to get about 5 to 9 inches at full grown.
Ruru and Momo.
The very next part of this piece of info that I'm going to share with you is with the leopard gecko, not just their size, but their lifespan. These guys can live to be 10 to 20 years old. So remember, it is a long commitment. Don't get one and think, oh, well, it's lived 2 years, it's living longer than I expected, I can't take care of it. Don't do that to it. It doesn't deserve that. It doesn't deserve to be just traded around. They're just like a dog or a cat. You're going to want to get them from a puppy. You're going to love on it. Things like that. You want to keep it until it passes away. Same thing with your geckos and all that. They do have a long life expectancy, so you want to really provide that one home for them so they're used to it and they're used to you and used to being handled. Now, one of the main reasons that that leopard geckos are kept as pets in the pet trade is because they actually are pretty very hardy lizards as far as like their size and things like that. Like a bearded dragon, which I'll talk about in the next series more. Whenever they get bigger and stuff like that, they become kind of chunky. With a leopard gecko, not so much, but they're actually pretty resilient towards a lot of stuff. Now, if you're getting leopard geckos, though, and you want the ones that live longer, get you a male. The females have a shorter life expectancy than the males do. And one of the reasons that I believe this is the situation is due to the fact...
Rex, come here.
It's due to the fact that you've got the females who are mating and they're producing and they're laying their eggs and stuff like that. And that's putting a lot of wear and tear and toll on their body. So the females don't have as long of an expectancy to live as the males do. Now, in the wild, we weren't able to find anything on how long they live in the wild due to the fact that there's so many predators for these guys. There's so many things that can eat these guys out in the wild that we honestly couldn't find anything scientifically proven on how long they can survive in the wild. Now, the 10 to 20 years is in captivity, so like I said, that's going to be a long commitment for you guys, but it's well worth the long years. You two, it's enough. Sorry, Rex and Momo are going crazy with each other. Now, like I had mentioned about these guys being more or less a desert-dwelling lizard, and how it was kind of surprising of where they're actually originated from. I thought they would be like in the deserts of America or Central America, South America, things like that, because they're so popular here in the U.S., but they're actually native to dry and semi-desert areas. Now, that being said, these guys are actually more known in the wild out in Afghanistan, Iraq, Iran, and northwest India. So, if you're ever looking at it and you see a leopard gecko and you see a bunch of them, you're sitting there thinking, okay, they must be local. They must have been caught out here somewhere. They're not caught in America. They're not caught in Europe. They're actually caught in Afghanistan, Iraq, Iran, and northwest India. So that's what really threw me off. And as a reptile handler and as a lover of reptiles, like I said, I always make sure that we do our research for where they come from and just fun facts about them. So honestly, maybe one day whenever I become rich, I'm actually going to think about making a trip out there to find one in the wild and actually see its habitat, so I can see its natural habitat. Because I think that'd be kind of unique. And that goes for any reptiles that I mentioned in any of my videos. I actually want to see their natural habitats, so I can provide that same kind of habitat for them here in my home. Now, these guys are insectivores. Basically, for the kids, that all that means is that they eat insects. That's really all you're going to find them eating. Leopard geckos aren't going to eat salads and stuff like that, like your bearded dragons and iguanas and all that. They're going to eat just insects. Honestly, you can really give them any kind of insect, but in captivity, the main insects are the best ones to feed them in captivity is going to be crickets and mealworms. That is their best diet while in captivity. Now, I haven't really looked into it. I'll look into it more, especially for whenever I do the proper feeding video. But I'm not too sure on it. I want to look into it and see if they can actually have what's called dubia roaches. Because those are insects. They are a little bit more meaty for them. Gives them a little bit more protein and stuff like that. So I'm going to look into it and see if they actually have those for my proper feeding video for geckos. I know there's other lizards that can eat them. My next series is actually on one of those lizards.
I didn't see it on the list when I was doing research.
Well, we'll have to look and see because that's something that's going to pique my interest for a while. If I can't find anything and I don't mention it in the videos, and you guys are still wondering, leave a comment, let me know, and I'll definitely will answer it. And I'll keep on looking for it until I find out for sure if they can have those or not. But like I said, the crickets and mealworms are their basic diet while in captivity. Now, the one thing I always say whenever you get crickets, though, is get the gut-loaded crickets, which means that they've been fed, they're full, they're nice and healthy, because that gives your leopard gecko more nutrients and all that. Mealworms, I mean, you can give them gut-loaded mealworms, but it's kind of hard to tell whenever the mealworm's just eaten and whenever they've already used the bathroom and stuff like that. So really with mealworms, it's kind of hard to tell, but with crickets, you can feed them and things like that and know kind of when they are ready to, whenever they've used the bathroom, because they'll leave like little spots and stuff like that that look like they've used the bathroom and things. So after you feed the crickets, give them a little bit of time to digest and get the nutrients into their body, and then feed your leopard gecko, and that's a pretty good way of doing it. Now, this last fact is actually pretty unique. A lot of people that get reptiles and stuff like that are like, oh, well, how long does it take for my reptile to get to its full size? How long will it take them to be fully grown? With leopard geckos, they only take 10 to 12 months to reach full maturity and full size. So the 5 to 9 inches can happen in 10 to 12 months. So keep that in mind. You're sitting there, you're thinking, okay, you're cute as a baby and everything. Well, remember, within that first year of having that leopard gecko, it's going to be of full size. It's going to be at full maturity. So a lot of these facts are just kind of like key things to remember about your leopard geckos, but some of them are unique and fun to know. Like I said, the one that really threw me for a loop was where they originated from. Not just that one, I also have another one that I kind of like too. And that's actually how they prevent their predators from detecting them. By shedding that skin to get rid of that scent so that they can get away from a predator. That's actually really, really cool to me. Honestly, I wish that if I was in danger, I wish I could just like shed my skin and my scent's left on that skin and the predator or whoever's after me finds that skin but doesn't find me. That'd be like really cool. But unfortunately, we can't do that as humans, but leopard geckos do to save their own selves. So it's actually pretty unique for these guys. We're going to wrap this one up, guys. Thank you so much for checking out the video. Our next one is actually with our daily care requirements for your leopard gecko. But as always, don't forget, like and subscribe our channel. Hit that bell notification. Whenever you do, click all. Every time I post a video, you guys will get a notice saying there's a new video posted. If you have any questions or comments, leave them down below in the comment section. Make sure it's age appropriate, please. I'm going to keep on asking that for every video just to make sure that people understand. I do have children that watch these videos, so please keep it age appropriate. Not just that, if you can't get me through the comment section on YouTube or it's not letting you comment or something like that, go ahead and find me on Facebook, AIR Reptile Rescue. I'm gaining a lot of followers. I'm almost at 100 followers on Facebook now for our reptile page. I appreciate y'all's support, but if you can, find me on there, like our page, follow us, and if you have any questions or anything like that, send me a message through there, and I'll gladly answer your questions for you. And don't forget, guys, we live by this motto every day. I believe in it. I live by it. And I also encourage you guys to do it. Our motto here is we do what we love, but we love what we do. And the reason I say to live by that is always live each day doing what you love. We love what we do so much. These animals is what makes our day every day. Waking up every morning and taking care of these animals here, or doing these videos for you guys, is something that I love to do on a daily basis. So like I said, always remember, live each day doing what you love, and I promise you're going to find happiness in life. But enough about that. Catch us in the next video, daily care requirements for your leopard gecko. So y'all come back, check it out. We love you guys from AIR. Thanks so much for your support, and good night, and we'll see y'all later.